Trey Yesavage took the mound on a night that would soon become etched in postseason memory, a Game 6 filled with tension, raw emotion, and the kind of performance that transforms a young pitcher into a household name. The stadium was alive before the first pitch was even thrown. Fans stood, waving towels and roaring in anticipation, knowing that this was a make-or-break moment. Every movement, every breath Trey took on the mound carried the weight of a team fighting to keep its championship hopes alive. From his very first pitch, it was clear that Trey wasn't there to survive, he was there to dominate. His fastball was electric, cutting through the air with late life that left hitters frozen. The opposing lineup, known for their patience and power, found themselves swinging late, misjudging his speed, and rolling over pitches that sank just enough to find infield gloves. Trey didn't just pitch, he painted. In the first inning, he set the tone immediately, striking out two batters with fastballs that seemed to explode out of his hand. The third out came on a weak ground ball, fielded cleanly for an easy play at first. The crowd erupted, sensing that something special was unfolding. You could almost feel a collective realization: Trey Yesavage had arrived. By the second inning, Trey began mixing in his slider, a pitch that had developed into one of his deadliest weapons over the season. Batters looked utterly lost, expecting heat and getting movement that darted across the plate like a mirage. His command was laser sharp, each pitch seemingly guided by instinct. He struck out another batter swinging, then induced his first double play, a perfect sinker that jammed the hitter, sending a slow roller straight to shortstop for the easy turn. As the game moved into the third, the rhythm of the night became clear. Trey was dictating everything. The opposing dugout tried to adjust, looking for patterns, trying to guess his next move. But Trey was unpredictable. One moment he'd climb the ladder with a high fastball, and the next he'd drop a breaking ball that disappeared at the knees. He was pitching with confidence, but also with intelligence far beyond his years. In the fourth inning, he ran into his first real challenge. A leadoff single brought the crowd to a low rumble of concern. The next batter worked the count full, the tension was thick. Then, Trey delivered a devastating two-seam fastball on the inside corner, jamming the hitter into yet another double play. The crowd erupted again, louder this time. 2 double plays in 4 innings, and the opponent was being systematically silenced. Every time the camera zoomed in on his face, Trey's expression remained calm, focused, unshaken. There was no bravado, no over-the-top celebration, just quiet fire. It's the demeanor that defines big-game pitchers, the kind of composure that tells teammates, "I've got this." And he truly did. By the fifth, he struck out 2 more batters, both on pitches that tailed away at the last moment. His 7th strikeout came on a wicked slider that buckled the knees of one of the league's most feared power hitters. Even the opposing dugout nodded in grudging respect. But the most magical moment came in the 6th inning, a moment that summed up his entire night. With 2 men on and 1 out, Trey faced a dangerous cleanup hitter who had already hit 3 home runs in the series. The count went to 2-1. The next pitch, a perfectly located sinker, was chopped toward third. The fielder stepped on the bag, fired to second, and the relay to first completed Trey's 3rd double play of the game. The stadium exploded in disbelief. 3 double plays in a playoff game. Against this lineup, it felt unreal. As Trey walked off the mound, the crowd gave him a standing ovation. His teammates met him with high fives and cheers, while his manager simply gave a proud nod. Trey had done his job, and then some. He didn't just keep the game under control, he owned it. Reporters would later note how composed he was in the dugout, sipping water, chatting with the pitching coach, reviewing notes like a veteran. There was no sign of nerves, no sign of fatigue. Just focus. That quiet intensity carried him through every inning, and it was contagious. His defense fed off it, turning plays sharply, communicating smoothly, and backing him up at every turn. The fans were chanting his name by the 7th inning. Trey, Trey, Trey. It echoed through the night, a thunderous chorus that symbolized not just admiration, but gratitude. They knew they were watching something special, a pitcher who wasn't just performing, but thriving in the biggest moment of his career. By the time his night ended, his line was remarkable: 7 strikeouts, 3 double plays induced, and just 1 run allowed. But those numbers didn't tell the full story. The real story was his poise, his command, and the way he made an elite lineup look utterly powerless. After the game, his teammates couldn't stop praising him. "That's the best I've seen him," said one veteran. "He just keeps getting better when the lights get brighter." Another added, "He's the future, no question." In the post-game interview, Trey's humility shone through. "I just wanted to give my team a chance," he said softly. The defense was amazing tonight. Those double plays, man, they saved me. He smiled, a little bashfully, as the reporters laughed and applauded. But deep down, everyone knew he was being modest. Those double plays happened because of the way he pitched, precise, confident, and fearless. Social media exploded that night. Highlights of his strikeouts and double plays trended within minutes. Clips of him walking calmly off the mound were captioned with things like, "The future is now," and "Ice in his veins." Fans across the league, even from rival teams, couldn't help but admire what they'd just witnessed. Baseball analysts broke down his mechanics frame by frame, the way his front shoulder stayed closed, how his release point was identical on his fastball and changeup, making it nearly impossible for hitters to pick up. They marveled at how a young pitcher could execute a game plan so flawlessly under postseason pressure. Every legend starts somewhere, and for Trey Yesavage, Game 6 felt like the beginning of something bigger. The night he showed not only his talent but his heart. He didn't rely on luck, he relied on preparation, on trust, and on that rare composure that separates good players from great ones. Fans leaving the stadium that night knew they'd witnessed a game they'd talk about for years. Parents told their kids, "Remember this name, Yesavage. You'll be hearing it a lot." The broadcast replayed his best moments over and over, the strikeout where the batter froze mid-swing, the grounder that sparked the third double play, and the cool smile he flashed as he walked back to the dugout. It was cinematic, the stuff baseball dreams are made of. And while Game 6 was only one chapter, it became a symbol of what playoff baseball is all about: courage, precision, and the ability to rise when it matters most. Trey Yesavage didn't just pitch that night, he made believers out of everyone watching. He showed that greatness isn't just about throwing 100 miles per hour or striking out the side. It's about commanding the moment, staying calm when the crowd roars, and trusting your ability to execute. That night, every pitch told a story, of discipline, of faith in one's craft, of the countless hours spent refining each movement in the bullpen and under the sun during practice. By the end of the night, as fans filed out and the lights dimmed, the legend of Trey Yesavage had begun to take root. Game 6 wasn't just a victory, it was a statement, one that echoed through the league and left everyone wondering how high his ceiling really is. Because if this was just the beginning, baseball might be witnessing the rise of its next great ace.